Good morning. We are going to go through the skeletal system quiz. Question number 1, 2, 3, and 4 on your paper. But what are the 4 main functions of the skeletal system? So questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. What are the 4 main functions of the skeletal system that we talked about in class? Number 5, how many bones make up the human body? How many bones are in the human body? We talked about number of bones when fully grown. Number 6, bones are alive and made of what? Bone tissue is alive and made of what? Is number 6. Number 7, connecting tissue that covers the ends of all the bones, and it also gives our ears and our nose support. So we talked about the articular system is all the joints of our body, and on the end of all of our bones we have articular this. It makes up our ears, our nose, gives it shape, and then it's in the end of all of our bones. Number 8, this attaches bones to bones. So the femur is attached to the tibia by what? Femur is attached to the tibia by what? Number 9, attaches muscles to bones. So we have the gastrocnemius and the soleus comes down and attaches into our foot. What is that? Attaches muscles to bones. Muscles to bones. All right, the bones of the skull is first. Number 10 is here on the front. Number 10 is on the front. Number 11 is on the sides. On the sides of the skull. So amphiarthrotic joints, where they come together. Number 12 is right here on top. So we have 10, 11, 12, and 13 is on the back. It's the back portion of the skull here. 10, 11, 12, and 13 is on the back. 14, these are the bones underneath that make up your cheekbones, right here. Is 14. 15, your upper jaw, underneath where your mustache would be. What is that bone? So we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is the tip of the sternum. Comes down right here. This tip right here. What is this called? The tip of the sternum is number 16. 17 are your fingers and your toes. What are your fingers and your toes called? 18 is in the back. These Dracula-shaped fangs, what are those called? You have 2, 1 on each side. They're irregularly shaped. So we have ligaments and tendons attached to them. On the front is also known as your collarbone. 2 wavy kind of S-shaped bones, 1 on each side. This is fairly commonly broken when you fall on your shoulder. What is this called? 19. 20. This is the flat bone where the rib cage comes in and attaches, and there's cartilage there. What is this long flat bone? 21. This is a group of bones here that you can feel in your back and comes around to the front. This group of bones protects your heart and lungs. 22. This ridge line right here of these 2 kind of Mickey Mouse shaped ear bones is called this, number 22. This ridge along here on each side, and you can palpate or feel that on your body starting from in the back and then come around to the front all the way to about right here. 22. 23, these are your sitter bones. These bones right here. In a class we had you shift back and forth in your seat, and you can feel those 2 bones, right and left side. 23. Stop snagging me. 24, these are the Mickey Mouse ear shaped bones. They're regular shaped, they're kind of flat here. 25, we can see thus from the back. 25, we talked about this being the SI joint, if that helps. But you know what these bones are? This bone here, it's kind of triangular shaped, upside down triangle. It is inferior to the vertebral column. 26, this is your tailbone. Tailbone. 27, this is in the front. It's a synarthrotic joint, which means it's slightly movable. This joint right here. 27. 28, we're going back and forth here. 28 is in the back. This whole column, this group of bones, you have a bunch of these that are stacked up on top of each other. It protects our spinal cord in the middle there. It allows us to do different movements with our trunk, our torso. 29, this is the long bone of the upper arm. You have one bone in the upper arm. What is this long bone here of the upper arm? The tip of the elbow, let's see if we can get this here. The tip of your elbow, this comes from the pinky side. So if you follow it down, it's pinky side. But what is the tip of that bone called? Or it's like a protrusion, something that sticks out. 31, stand in anatomical position. Let's see if we can get this guy in anatomical position. His right arm is not going to go. When you're in anatomical position, these two bones of the lower arm, they run parallel. And then whenever you pronate, you cross one over the other, the radius, one of them over the other. So standing in anatomical position is the most lateral of the two lower arm bones. The most lateral of the two lower arm bones. So thumb side. 32, standing in anatomical position. This is the most medial of the two lower arm bones. Most medial. 33 is your jaw. 34, the bones of your wrist. What are the bones of your wrist? If we get to this unit, we will learn what each of them are called. But this group of bones is called what? 34. 35, the bones underneath the palm of your hand is 35. 36, this is the long bone of the upper leg. The long bone of the upper leg. It can break, but it's a pretty sturdy bone. The long bone of the upper leg. 37. 37 are your kneecaps. Sesamoid bone, your kneecaps, 37. 38, this is the most medial, or the larger of the two lower leg bones. Talked about soccer players, we wear shin guards to protect this bone, which doesn't protect out here much. But the tough one of the lower leg, 38. 39 is the frail little one on here on the outside. We talked about if you break this bone, you are done. Most athletes are not going to be able to continue. But if this bone is broken on the outside, the athlete may be able to complete or finish their game. They have some pain. An x-ray would show that that bone is, that this frail one is broken. 40, these are the bones of your ankle bones, and we will get to this unit. I believe it's our next unit, so we'll learn what the individual bones are called here. 41, the bones underneath your shoelaces. What are these bones here? Remember, you do not drive a car with your feet. You might step in something else. 42, this is your heel, another bone that's pretty sturdy, difficult to break, but it can be broken. They do break sometimes, specifically if you fall from a height and land on your feet. 43, this is part of the long bone of the upper leg, but it's where it sticks out right here. You can palpate them very easily on your body.
Houston, we have a problem.
That's 43.
Houston, we have a problem.
Coach K is getting a phone call.
Houston, we have a problem.
Good luck.